Hi Aquarius, welcome to my channel. This will be your weekly segment, a 4-card intuitive spread drawing out some messages that may be helpful for you for the upcoming 7 days. These will be general messages. Some will resonate whilst others will not, so please try and keep an open mind when interpreting and absorbing the messages, Aquarius. I do want to thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please feel free to leave behind a like or subscribe to my channel for further notification for further themed readings. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Just a quick reminder, I do have a sale on all my private love readings. If you were interested in a love reading, my email along with sale prices is listed below in the show more section. I will be using a couple of decks here today, the first one being the Secret Language of Light Oracle deck, followed by the Rider-Waite Tarot. I will list these below in the description box also. Having said that, Aquarius, let's get straight into it and see what's coming up for you. Potentially, what is the weekly theme for those born under the sign of an Aquarius? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is the weekly theme for the sign of Aquarius? If you're dealing with an Aquarius, this reading may be helpful. Okay, you've had a card fling out, and it is awakening. Wisdom emerges through everyday experience. Okay, you're about to experience an aha moment in the upcoming week. Awakening is to come to terms with or be open to an authentic situation or authentic feelings or undiscovered feelings, feelings you weren't really aware of here, Aquarius. Now, this could be you, this could be someone around you that you may be dealing with here with the awakening energy. The number 2 here symbolizes it can have something to do with a connection with someone else here. So it is awakening towards a connection and either finally falling for someone or seeing the truth about someone. But awakening is self-epiphanies and realizations. It's almost like a feeling of deep truth that may have slipped your mind is actually coming to prominence here. It's your natural evolution here, Aquarius. This is powerful. Awakening is finally, shaking things up a little bit, finally awakening from the slumber, finally addressing the importance of a situation, of a connection here. And it's going to come from within, it's going to come from your heart, and it's going to shine out, it's going to radiate here. For some of you, this is a transformation in a sense. You may be improving on your hairstyle, you may be attracting other people through your energy, through your vibe. Awakening says you're ready to take that initiative, you're ready to take the step forward here, Aquarius. Let's have a look and see how this relates. Okay, you have the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the last card is the 4 of Swords. Okay, 7 of Wands, Aquarius. This is resistant energy. You may be dealing with a fire sign here because the Wands do represent Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. The 7 of Wands shows that there's defensiveness and resistance. So for some of you, there's a link to awakening and resistance. So I believe if you've been resistant towards a certain person, a certain connection that they would like to build with you, maybe you'd like to build it with them and they've been somewhat resistant to it. This is defensiveness. Or you're finally realizing how defensive someone is. It's either they're letting their guard down, which may happen because you're laying something to rest here, Aquarius. If this is not the case, you're finally realizing why someone is the way they are, why they feel they need to be protective, why they feel they need to be defensive over something, why they feel they need to react a certain way. It's all, awakening is all about awareness, and it's all about, lifting that veil. If you've had clouded judgment up until this point here, Aqua, I believe that in the upcoming week, you're going to see why someone feels the way they do. The fact that you've come up in the Swords here shows that you are just going to be all on it, and you naturally you naturally are, Aquarius. You're very switched on, you're very alert, you're very witty, you're very quick thinking. So you're going to catch on very, very quickly. The moment might be very quick, it might be very fleeting. Nonetheless, it's going to awaken something within you here. Some of you might have someone, a significant other, that does grow very protective over you. And this might alert you a little bit, because the awakening energy, it's quite an anticipated energy. It's finally seeing something for what it really is. So you might finally discover here that someone around you might have a bit of jealousy. There could be protectiveness or envy, possessiveness even. And, you know, there's a confrontation that may happen in the upcoming week with this person. Or the roles could be reversed, Aquarius, and suddenly you're finding that you are resistant to someone else's actions, that you are jealous, that you are possessive. And it could happen very, very quickly. Remember, that moment of awakening happens very, very suddenly here. And you have come up as the Knight of Swords. Now, unless you're dealing with another air sign, a fellow Aquarian, a Libra, or a Gemini, this shows impulsive energy. The Knight of Swords is not very rational. He's not very methodical. He rushes ahead because he gains closure. He rushes ahead to conclusions. He needs some source of validation here. Some of you need validation in a relationship because that is the only time you can fully awaken and be your true self and understand that this person has your best interest at heart, and that you can let your guard down, let those defenses down, and let this person in completely. What I'm seeing with the Knight of Swords is that perhaps there's a part of you, Aquarius, especially in regards to the way you're communicating, or perhaps it's this other person in the way they're communicating, that is is happening very, very quickly. It's happening at a pace that perhaps this person isn't ready for. It's almost like a clash here, Aquarius, for some of you, with fire and with words. So with somebody's impulsive energy and someone's words, and this may clash here. But it's going to make you alert. You're going to catch on to a pattern here, probably. Awakening is coming out of your shell. So for some of you, you might have your first fight in a relationship in the upcoming week. For some of you, you might actually realize some truths. You might feel, you know, you've been in a slumber, and the slumber has come up in the form of the Four of Swords. But then suddenly, to go from that quantum leap from the Four of Swords to the Knight of Swords, this is withdrawing, and then suddenly you've awakened. This person has hit a nerve here, Aquarius, and suddenly you may find that you're wanting to communicate exactly how you feel. You're wanting to just charge ahead regardless of their emotions, because they've awoken something within you here. It could have much to do with communicative thought as well. Some of you may feel like you can express yourself more so, you know, you're crossing that boundary here. You're becoming more connected to someone here, that you feel more comfortable to truly express yourself, to truly express how you feel. Because you also have that Four of Swords energy. Four of Swords is a time of laying something to rest. It's a time of withdrawal. It's a time to think about our actions. It's a time to contemplate our words. Maybe it's a time to articulate our words, to plan our conversations, to think about, to dwell on, to meditate on what's happening here. And you do have this wonderful meditation symbol down below. So I'm wondering if some of you need to meditate on this. If there's been an argument, or there will be an argument in the upcoming week, then I feel you may say some words here. They may too. I think, you know, it takes two to tango. But suddenly you're both going to be so active, and you both might be quite defensive here. But I see you, maybe midweek, maybe towards the end of the week, I see you withdrawing. Something that you say here, you possibly don't mean here, Aquarius. And I do see you withdrawing here. But there's a contrast, you know, there's a tomb effigy here, but there's awakening here. And this says a slumber. You awaken from a slumber. So if you felt dread, if you felt inactive, if you felt unimportant, if you felt like you've been on the sidelines, if you felt like you've been lonely, there's a change coming, and it's coming very, very quickly here for you, because this is two contrasting cards. Now, this could be another air sign you may be dealing with here. For some of you, there might be someone that withdraws from communication, and they need time to think. They need time to get back in touch with what truly matters for them. So you may see this person fall back a little bit, Aquarius, especially in regards to texting, calling, emails. They're taking a step back. It could be what happens here. I feel like it's not that I'm going to preempt a fight for you. That's not the case, Aquarius, but I do feel there's some sort of situation here And they're evoking feelings, very strong, passionate feelings here that you will want to verbalize. It's almost like awakening the sleeping giant, because within is going to come this situation here where you're very bold, you're very daring. Perhaps you were a little bit careful beforehand. Maybe this connection was quite new. Maybe this person is quite sensitive you're dealing with. Maybe, you know, you were in a tricky situation here because your significant other has other things happening around them, and you wanted to be pragmatic. You wanted to come into this and be quite sensitive towards them. But now I think you're both bringing out the big guns is what I'm seeing here, because awakening is all about bringing out your authentic self, bringing out the true self, waking up from that slumber. You know, if you haven't been involved, if you haven't been present, if you haven't been expressive, this is about to change. And as I said, it's waking that sleeping giant here, Aquarius. So I do sincerely wish you a lovely week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been insightful. I'm wishing you a fantastic week, and I hope to chat to you again next week. Thanks again, Aquarius. Take care. Bye for now.